Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Samuel from Samuel Mods Animation and More, and today I am here to bring to you a modding tutorial, this time not for Budokai 3, but for Raging Blast 2. I'm starting to dip my toes in the water in this game a little bit, and I thought I'd show you what I learned and what I've made to help mod the Raging Blast series. There will be an invite link to the modding server in the description below. If anyone's wanting to try and expand Raging Blast 2 modding, then by all means join. We're still quite basic when it comes to how the server is, how we're building it, and the community. But we hope you come along and join, throw some ideas, participate in modding too, and just overall make it a fun place. Yeah, to start the tutorial off, I will be demonstrating how to edit textures. Adding files into the game, it is really simple. It is quite the same for Budokai modding. It's just using AFS Explorer and inserting the AFS files. It's not that bad. I will, however, go over how to extract the files from the AFS data and edit the textures appropriately. So what we want to do is get our folder up with our AFS files. This is located within your Raging Blast game. PS3 game, USRDR, data, PS3, and here we have it. All the character models will be located in this ST pack, Battle Character PT PS3, or in the Xbox version it'll be the same name but with Xbox at the end. To note, both Xbox and PS3 are very similar, though not quite the same. I do believe there is issue with tools for the PS3 and Xbox versions of the game. So while I primarily focus on the PS3 version, not everything will directly translate as easy into Xbox. I've already got the AFS file opened up, and what you're wanting to do is import file name list, because all these files here are just called battle. Pretty useless. So import the file name list. We've got Raging Blast 2 file name.afl. Drag and drop, or click and select, and update the file list. And any second now. Oh, let's get excited there. There we go. We should be able to just press 0 and it'll take us to the first character, the first form, which in this case is Goku base form. Now Goku has something silly like 7 or 8 costumes. There we go, 8 costumes. To kind of explain how the name of files work, it's normally the ID of the character, their form, and costume. So 00 is Goku's ID, Goku is Goku's name. 0 is the form, in this case 0 being base form. 1P, 1 costume, PS3 or Xbox depending on your version. There is 3 files per character file. So if anyone who's familiar with Infinite World modding, there's 2 files, AMON and AMT, which is a model and texture file. In this case we have IORAM, SPR and VRAM. To kind of put it in similar terms to Budokai modding, IORAM would be the AMO, VRAM would be the AMT, and the SPR would be like an AMB of sorts. Anyway, you would extract your files. So in this case I wanted Super Saiyan. Got Super Saiyan Goku here. Simply right click and export. But I already have the files located somewhere. Whoops, sorry. Here. I've got Goku's data here. So from here you can close AFS or you can leave it open for later, that's fine. You will need tools folder. All of these tools can be found within the Raging Blast 2 server. I will not directly provide them, it just seems a bit redundant. So if you want tools to mod Raging Blast 2, I suggest you go over to the server. You don't need to stay, but it would be nice if you would. The tools I will be using for extracting the textures out of these files, two of them I have made, and one of them was made by Revelation. Yep, I'll go over what they do. We have DVRB compressor, which is Dragon Ball Raging Blast compressor. That essentially decompresses and compresses data related to the SPR and the VRAM. Which, if I remember rightly, the SPR is essentially an A and B, a header which contains data for how the model and texture should be applied to one another, and the VRAM being the texture themselves. So, what we want to do to use the compressor tool is open up the command window. Up here so it's easier to see. And what you want to do is drag in the compressor exe tool and press space. And the first thing we want to do is insert the SPR file. What this does is it opens up the tool and it reads this file. And what the tool does is it reads the file and makes a copy of that file, whether it's decompressed or compressed. So what we want to do is hit space once more, add in the file again, but rename it. I'm just going to add a 2 at the end. And if we hit enter, it will say uncompressing stpz file, writing output file, processing complete, and we can see in our folder this has been made. One more time, insert the exe file, press space, insert the VRAM file, hit space once more, and then name the file you want it to be decompressed to. In this case, it's the same as what I've got, I'm just adding a 2 at the end. So hit enter, and this will decompress the VRAM file, and we will have the A and B essentially, the AMT, or in Raging Blast's case, SPR and VRAM. And you can close this window for now. Now, you're unable to get into the textures directly. Thankfully, I've made a tool to view them and edit them. And these tools are called the VRAM tools. VRAM extract, which extracts the data, and VRAM insert, which inserts the data back into itself. Something before I open this tool. Something to note is your exported files, your decompressed files, they will have the attribute of read-only enabled. Simply uncheck that for both. So now that we've got them at not read-only, we can use the VRAM extract tool. It asks for the decompressed SPR, so we can look for the textures within the VRAM file. The VRAM file itself to extract the textures from. Hit enter. It's complete. VRAM extract tool by yours truly. Enter to close, and we'll see a folder here called 001 Goku 1P PS3. And now we have all the textures in DDS format and .bin format. You can ignore the .bins for now. All we want to do is focus on the DDS. I just make it hard to see. We have here Super Saiyan Goku's textures in all their glory. Got the gi, got part of his undershirt. I believe this part would be the boots. His hair, part of his face. Is there anything else? That could be the wrap around his feet, maybe the sole of his shoe as well, and shaders. Something to note about these textures is that they're in slightly different formats of DDS. We have DXT1, DXT5, and the shaders are in RGBA, which essentially is just different ways to compress the data. You can edit these with Photoshop, Paint.net, and I believe some people use GIMP as well. How you edit these is up to you, though there is specific guides for certain tools within the Raging Blast modding server for anyone who's wanting to use certain tools for whatever. Should be able to get one of those tools up. One of these tools I use is NVIDIA Texture Tools Exporter. There is a plugin for Photoshop which uses the exact same thing, and though mine's outdated, it is still applicable for other versions of Photoshop. As you see here, we've got the different versions of the DPS file. Close that for now. For example, if I wanted to change the colour of Goku's eyebrows from yellow to, say, blue, I would simply open up the texture. This will be defaulted to Paint.net, I believe. Yep. And And just for a quick adjustment, we'll change the hue. Same with this face texture, this hair texture. Select these. Hue. Once more. Just quickly edit these. Now, I've given each of these textures a unique name based on their attributes, whether this be their size, their format, or the amount of bitmaps that are on their textures. And now to quickly put it briefly, bitmaps is like how a texture looks from a certain distance. Up close you'll see the texture in high definition, whereas very far away you'll see very low detail of it. This can help rendering, this could help with visuals, but it is generally used within a lot of games. Blast is one of those games. So, to adjust for that, I can save these textures as however I want, but while I'm saving them, I certainly want to make sure they fit to the certain standards. Here we have DXT1, which is just another form of saving in DBS. If I hit Save As, keep the original name. Yep. I want to make sure whatever's in the file name matches up with what I've got saving wise. So BC1 also translates to DXT1. And generate bitmaps. Paint.net seems to just do a general amount of bitmaps. It doesn't give you a specific amount, unlike Photoshop or the NVIDIA texture exporter tool I just showed previously. But Paint.net does work. So if I just simply click Generate Bitmaps and hit OK, that should be me. Got this texture here. Once more, it is in DXT1. Hit Save As. Save. Once more, make sure it's selected at DXT1 or BC1. Generate bitmaps, hit OK. And once more for the eyebrows, save as, save. Make sure generate bitmaps is selected. And just one more texture just to show DXT5 for anyone who's interested. This was a belt texture. Yes, this seems like a belt texture. Simply change the hue of this to orange. So, save as, save, click yes. Make sure that if this is DXT5, you select DXT5. As you see, it properly renders the texture as well. Hit OK. Sorry, generate bitmaps, hit OK. And that's it. If you're wanting to use the NVIDIA file exporter or use it within Photoshop, also load up for anyone interested, you should be able to just drag and drop the texture in. Oops, they should be refreshed. Again, making sure how you export this texture is related to how I've structured the file name. Because this is DXT1, I want this to be exported in BC1A, which includes an alpha channel, which some of these textures do need. So simply select BC1A, RGBA 4BPP, 1-bit alpha. And that should be everything. And if there's a bitmap selection, there should be option. Sorry, 2 seconds, guys. I'm not used to this version. Right. Should be able to just save as. And oh wait, I see it. Sorry, my bad. Apologies, guys. Bitmaps here. Oh, seems to just generate 9 bitmaps by default. Right. This may be due to the texture already having the bitmaps generated from Paint.net. In Photoshop, it does give you the option, or sorry, the plugin for DDS saving within Photoshop gives you more of an option. I didn't realise that with this tool, sorry. My fault on that. There we go. It shows all the bitmaps, showing the different levels of detail while the texture's farther away. But you can click Save As with this as well. So, close it just now because I don't need it. Anyway, back on topic. To export these textures back into the VRAM, simple. You just use the VRAM insert tool. So come out of this folder, open up VRAM insert. Seem to have a bit of an error here. Correct that in the next revision. It says insert the folder with the .bin and .dds file, which is simple. This is the folder with .bin and .dds. Drag and drop. Hit enter. I'll come up with the number, ignore that. Insert the original SPR file. This is the decompressed file you use to extract the textures from. So insert that, hit enter, and then insert the VRAM file you want to contain the edited textures. So I'll just create a copy of this and drag that in. Hit enter. Say complete, and just to prove it does work, I insert the SPR, insert the VRAM. You'll see that the new texture file I have made, the new VRAM file, it will have the blue textures as we made it earlier. Delete those. And now finally, we can decompress the VRAM file. The SPR we've not edited, we've only used it to gain access to the VRAM textures, but we only need to recompress the VRAM. Bring this lower, open up the command window, drag in the DBRB compressor, hit space, insert my VRAM file, hit space, insert whatever I want it to be renamed to. Same thing but with 3 in the end, hit enter, pressing, complete. And we indeed have our VRAM file here. And now to insert these, there may be a slight file size difference, and it might be minute enough to cause issues, but they should be the same size. No, slightly bigger. If you can't insert into the AFS, that's fine, I'll demonstrate how it works. So I will open up my modded file just to make sure I'm not replacing anything I have as a backup. As it loads. For this example, I will replace just Goku Super Saiyan. Bring that here, it's fine. So Super Saiyan, I want to replace the VRAM. Import. Go to my Goku file I've made. Oh, there is enough space, that's fine. Yep. If there's not enough space, what you should do is you use the hammer tool and adjust the sizes as you would using AFS Explorer anyway. That's fine, we don't need to do that. Here is where I have difficulty showing the results at the end of the video because my computer is just a bit too slow to handle both OBS and the PS3 emulator at the same time. So I might either cut to footage strictly of the PS3 game with the edited file, or I may also just show images. So however that looks is however it looks. But I hope this covers everything you guys need for learning how to mod Region Blast. This is just a simple texture edit. But hopefully we can expand on this, expand on editing models, editing textures. I think we can already edit effects as well, because it is quite similar. It's just the same as extracted from the VRAM, just with the effects instead. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial for what it was. If you want to learn more about Region Blast modding, check the description down below. There will be a link to the server itself where we've got loads of people getting interested, getting involved, and trying to increase the longevity of a nearly 10-year-old game, I believe. So yeah, hope that was okay. and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.